so scared of me. He's a feral cat.
So today we're going to talk about a topic that I don't always like to point fingers, and I don't always like to talk about specific individuals and what they say, but in this regard, it's something that I think I need to put out there. So today I went on the glorious World Wide Web of whiners, and I started perusing through some friend sites and noticed that somebody had shared a link to something that Brian May said in regard to the Chironosaurus. Yes, I'm totally stealing Viva Fry's name for this horrible disorder. So as I read the story, I became more and more upset, and don't worry, I'm fixing to plug it in so that you can read it along with me so that you know exactly what it says. And that is my dog eating a milk bone. Very loudly, Moses, very loudly. Wow. To begin, let's look back and remember that Brian May had an issue on social media a little while ago that made him sad and made him not want to be on social media again. And then he comes on and he says meat eaters are responsible for the Chironosaurus. Then continues to say the pandemic seemed to come from people eating animals, and it's becoming more well known that eating animals is not the greatest thing for our health. This is a 72-year-old man. Also, apparently Paul McCartney said something along the line and pointed the finger at the wet markets. And basically, everything is being blamed upon meat eaters and their consumption of meat in this Chironosaurus outbreak. Socially, only one group is supposed to bear the burden, and it is the people that like protein that walks on the land and doesn't come from something called tofu. So, what's my view about this? Here we go. So, let's sit on the woodpile and have a discussion. So, obviously, the first thing I noticed about the story was the headline: meat eaters are basically to blame for the Chironosaurus, the Budweiser. The end all be all of 2020. Meat eaters, sack up. He's calling you out. And so now that we've read the story, I have just a couple of things to say. Number one, I actually am a huge fan of Queen. I have been since I was like 11. Their music really got me through a lot when I found it at a young age. It helps me focus on things that I enjoyed, things that made me have joy, things that were beautiful, instead of some of the crap that I was dealing with at a young age. Their music affected me so much that I actually have Brian May on my arm because he was always the quiet, reflective one that looked very introspective and was the speaker of the group a lot. He was the one that thought about what needed to be said and how to say it. And I've noticed that as he gets older, that becomes less and less true for me. Maybe here is a thought for Dr. May. The next time that you want to give a statistic or give some information, make sure that you include all the relevant information and not just the perception that you want to spread, the belief that you want to propagate. Make sure that you give stats, resources, options to check in to make sure that you're not just, spewing what you want other people to hear. I understand that you recently converted to veganism. You've got about 2 or 3 months of veganism under your belt. I would think that 2 or 3 months of veganism would not make you such a hater of people that still eat meat. There is no wrong or right dietary choice. It is the choice that you make as a personal preference. But to throw out the slander that you perceive these people to be at fault it's a very negative thing for you to do with the power that you have, with the persona and the people that look to you for guidance and wisdom. It's a very dangerous thing to only propagate your wisdom and your perception. So we've got to really look at people and say, you know something? Well, my perception is this. There's also information and statistics that show, the cat and dog are going to fight, that show that the danger is primarily in the meat handling and the butchering process and not in the consumption. So just because Dr. May didn't tell you, I am now telling you, yes, it's Mama Liz approved. The major issues that come along with meat being tied to illness or being tied to viruses or causing illness is because people have poor meat handling, poor butchering technique skills, and don't follow proper regulations. and not from the consumption. Normally meat cooked to the appropriate temperature rids all the meat of anything that it may share, and if not, then you know something? I want you to make your own YouTube video and share your story, because in those rare instances, people deserve to hear what happened. I've been butchering most of my own meat since I was a child, and hunting and eating out of the woods, and I have never had an illness due to improper meat handling, improper handling during butchering, or any kind of illness in the deer, cow, goat, sheep, turkey, whatever I processed that was eaten. And I've eaten some strange things because I grew up in the country. So, Dr. May, it hurts me to say this because I love you. Think before you speak, because the words you say, because of your status and celebrity, are going to be around a lot longer than most of us, and they're going to touch a lot more people than we could ever imagine. Amber, you taking it easy? Yeah, I guess so. I'm sorry, but that's just cute. A cat on a fence post tormenting the dog. It's just adorable. Hi, Nappy. What you doing, Nap Nap? You a pretty boy? Are you irritating Moses? He's being very cute about it, so I'll let you.